Wow, it took me this long to get the chill out mask? Well, I guess they didn't want me to come out with this OP build. Do you remember Insurmountable? The legendary deflector build that no NPC could do anything to stop? Yeah, that one. Well, the chill out mask, along with a few other tweaks, just made that build evolve to another level. They're lucky that the protection from elites bonus caps at 80% because otherwise I would have had 92. Either way, this build still slaps like crazy, so invulnerable is a fitting name for it. But this not only makes you unable to be killed, it also shreds chungas, rushers, and everything else in the legendary category. And I'm not talking about legendary summit where it's significantly less difficult, but I mean a straight up legendary mission. Doesn't matter if you're in a group or solo, and the two playstyles you adopt with this build allows you to adapt to whatever is thrown your way. So let's not waste any more time. Here it is. You know what, fam? I don't often upload builds I've previously made, but this one, oh boy, I was looking for any kind of excuse to do it because this has to be the most unique hybrid I've ever made. And I'm not just saying that, for real. Every piece of gear and weapon has its purpose. So let me tell you about what that is, then we'll go from there. Firstly, I wanted to make the deflector a viable skill to use. And initially it was difficult to do that because the elite NPCs aim directly at your head. And you know how much damage they do, especially in legendary. All others, purples and red NPCs, aim for the body, which is why this has two playstyles. Let's start with the weapon. The Ravenous, a favorite of mine. This is the weapon I use to fight the elites. They deal very little damage to me because of the 80% protection from elites. And when fighting them, the Ravenous allows you to take basically 0 damage while switching shoulders left and right, because you're constantly getting bonus armor along with 500% weapon damage. And the Ravenous's description also states that it gives you 50% amplified damage. I guess that's when you're shooting from the left shoulder. I don't really understand it and I haven't really seen it that much. Could somebody explain it to me if you know anything about that down in the comments? But on the previous version of this build, I had 70% protection from elites. If you notice, I'm using Technician Specialization, and if I were using Survivalist, I would have been able to get 80%. But this build requires the Artificer Hive. It goes hand in hand with the Deflector Shield. It's an essential piece that helps the Deflector be viable in high level content. Plus the 50% damage buff it gives me once it repairs my shield. That's not even a default number either. I mean, this build starts with 4 skill tiers. Its durability is that of a tier 6 because of the armor cores I have, but with Future Perfect rolled on my D50 will allow me to constantly get to tier 6 and periodically overcharge. And you'll still be able to get even more damage, but we'll get into that a bit later. Let me tell you about how I set this build up. One of the only ways you're able to get 80% protection from elites here is with improvised pieces, which you can craft in the base of operations. I've had these for a long time. These improvised pieces allows for you to have mod slots where you would otherwise not be able to. 2 of them need to be rolled to skill tier in the other armor, and all of the gear pieces need protection from elites mods in them. For the attributes, I prefer skill damage rolled everywhere, but you could also go with headshot damage. But I personally just love seeing how much the deflector shield shreds enemies. Now I know so many people have been talking about this chill out mask, and rightly so. 2 mod slots, that's amazing. And it's healer guard, so you'll get 5% total armor. It's bugged at the moment, but it'll be fixed soon. Anyway, there were so many times where I said to myself, man, I wish I had 1 more mod, because that 1 extra mod is what allowed me to get the 80% protection from elites instead of 70. The chest piece is Hunter Killer, the name chest piece, which comes with Perfect Intimidate, 40% amplified damage whenever I have a bonus armor and within range. With this build, I'm always getting bonus armor, whether it's with the Memento, backpack, or the Ravenous. So no matter which playstyle I adopt, I'll most likely get that 40% amplified damage because it's an in-your-face build. Being close rewards you, so it just makes sense. One thing to remember is that you cannot let them get behind you. Always be aware of your surroundings and you'll basically never die. So remember, I said that you can get more damage, right? That's what the Memento. 60% skill efficiency, which buffs everything in the skills attribute category. And once you max out the trophies, it's over for everybody. Not to mention your bonus armor gained every time you pick up a trophy. At 1.5 million armor, you're gonna get a pretty good amount. Also the armor regen, which feels like you have a consistent heal. It's just insane. So I'd like to thank them for creating this mask because it made this build so much better. the extra protection from release for more survivability, and the hunter killer chest piece for more amplified damage. This has to be the most complete build I've made so far, and it's very fun to play, especially now because it's different. I say it has no weaknesses, and I mean that. The elite enemies can't hurt you, and when the other purples or reds try, just pull out the shield and they won't hurt you either. The only aspect that will affect the invulnerability of this build is lack of skill, and I'm sure many of you have a high level of that. Here are the stats, and I'd like to know in the comments how many of you have made a build with a deflector, and if so, what kind? I have nothing else to say about it. I appreciate you stopping through, and Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you have a great 2022. I see a lot of good things happening for the Division 2 in the next coming months. Looking forward to it. I'll see you in my next video. Be right out.